Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining me. My remote viewing courses are going to start up again next month. I know there are a few people that are excited about that. So thank you. If you're interested, please email remoteviewit@gmail.com or go to Reality Forecaster, follow Reality Forecast on YouTube. Hey, Liz Cross, how are you?
I am great. I'm excited about your course as well. I know how good your course is. I know how different it is from the bog standard CRV. I highly recommend it. And it's a lot cheaper than all of those other courses out there. I remember the days, Ronan, when I wanted to take a 3-day course with a certain somebody who was setting up shop in LA, and she wanted $10,000 for a 3-day course. So, you know what I
There's a
told
sucker
her.
born every minute, but now there's a sucker born every day. There's a woman called the Nanny of the Maroons. I don't know a lot about her, but from what I do know, she was born around 1639, 640 in Jamaica and taken as a slave to Ghana. And she declared independence from the throne. And I was wondering if we could bring in her energy and talk to her about a strong spiritual warrior that existed over 400 years ago.
Okay, yeah. Now, what is so fascinating about the Maroons in Jamaica is that they're still there. It's amazing. The Maroon people today are still on top of this mountain. It's very difficult to get to, and they're still there. It's so unique. Okay, what would you like to know? She's ready to talk. Were you born in Jamaica? No, she wasn't born in Jamaica. She says she was born in Ghana. So that's not unfortunately, according to this, whatever's written here, she says she was born in Ghana.
And what was her life path before she came down to Earth?
What was your life path before you came? She had been a slave in many, 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 many lifetimes. And that was part of her soul contract, was to finally obtain her freedom.
How did she write that in her soul contract before she came down to Earth?
She says, this is it. It's now or never. And it wasn't going to be easy, but it had to be done.
How did she get that independence and that freedom?
They escaped. And that was a dangerous move. She's telling me that was so dangerous. And they had to go somewhere where they could not be seen. I don't even feel like they knew where they were going. They just knew that they had to get away from the colonial military, the slave owners, the masters, the plantations, the sugar plantations. And it was a last minute decision to go up to the top of this mountain, because they didn't believe that anybody was up there. And also, she's telling me, in order to strategically defend yourself, you always want to be higher up than your enemy, right? So you have a good view. You could see them coming. You could take action. You could defend yourself. They had equipment, and the Maroon people did not. And I feel that there weren't very many of them. They had organized to break free in the middle of the night. And she's telling me We had no shoes. We were in rag clothes. We had no food, nothing. And they just had to keep going and going and going.
How
And
many
they
people left with her?
about, she's telling me 20 to 30.
Did she have any children of her own that she took along?
Did you have any children of your own that you took along? I don't feel at the time of the escape. No, I feel like that came afterwards.
They say that she used her obia or obeah powers of mysticism in order to help find safe passage. Was she learned in that art? And who did she learn it from?
She was a medium, and she basically was communicating with what she believes is God, okay, source, and just help us lead the way. They got the insight to go upwards, like right at the last second.
Did she, I guess, what was her legacy? Did she have any kids? What was her goal in leaving that area? And what legacy did she want to create?
Well, just the fact that they escaped from slavery and they set up their own community, and they were very welcoming to others that managed to escape. It was word got out that there were people, escaped slaves, on top of this mountain area. And then, of course, then the war started. There was the guerrilla war.
What was her position in that war?
She had to bludgeon people to death.
Did she survive that war?
Yes, but some didn't.
It's speculated that she was killed in the war, that she lived to a longer old age. And can she tell us how she passed?
She ended up getting an injury. There was a problem with her leg. And what happened when you I feel like she passed with blood poisoning, sepsis.
Hmm. At an old age?
How old were you? Well, back then, yes. Possibly, she's telling me late 40s.
Did she have any children?
Two.
Did they go on to help lead the resistance?
No, they had sorts of holes and tunnels that they built up there. They were in trees. That's how they got the soldiers. They were hiding in trees and jumping down on top of them. Eventually, because it's so treacherous to go up there, they just left them alone.
We'll have to look more at the geography of the Maroon area. Did she, uh, that position now, that place now, geographically, what's happening there? What can she see is happening there with those people?
Well, they're able to live in peace. Um, they are self-sufficient. They are growing their own food, educating themselves. They live off the land. There's no, this is so interesting. There's no really, there's no need for money, really. They all take care of one another. There's a community. Um, And it's still just a very simple existence.
Has she incarnated since then in that area?
She has. Actually, that's so cool. She came back. She's been back a couple of times as a young child, and she's helped to she and her husband, and she has helped to increase the population. She is very dedicated to the Maroon people.
Is she incarnated now?
No,
When's she coming back?
at the turn of the century.
Will she come back as a Maroon citizen?
You know what? No, she's going to be part of the Jamaican government when she comes back as a female. Yes, she'll be female and she'll be in the Jamaican government.
What policies does she plan to implement as a new citizen and parliamentary member of the Jamaican government?
More so economy. Again, she says, she's telling me, okay, we're no longer enslaved technically, but then we're enslaved to corporations that have come and pillaged the land and pillaged the resources. So there's a big thing where she says, I'm going to try and get that land back and have it more in control for the Jamaican people so that we're making decisions about that land as opposed to corporations making decisions about that land. They left a big mess. Now I understand what she's talking about here because I've been to Jamaica, and I remember when the bauxite, which is a material that is used to make aluminum, there was all this bauxite waste all over the place, and I was like, what is that? And they said, oh, that's bauxite, but I didn't understand it at the time, obviously. But there's lots of like where corporations, I guess, were mining bauxite. Very interesting. So I do have an understanding of what she's saying. Yes.
Uh, when she crossed over after she died, I want to know what did she miss most about being on the Earth plane?
The people, the people that um, connectivity, touch, smiles, family, all of those things.
What does she do to occupy her existence or her time since crossing over?
She's planning for the next one. Mm-hmm. She's planning. This is really amazing. Out of all the Caribbean islands I've been to, I'm quite passionate about Jamaica because I find them to be exceptionally lively and vocal people. Some islands you go to, they don't say anything. It's very oppressed, but the Jamaican people are very into politics and religion and very vocal about it. They're very protective of their land. It's interesting.
Well, thank you very much, Queen Nanny of the Maroons, and thank you, Liz Cross, for giving her a voice.
Yes, yes, thank you. This was so cool. I've always wanted to go up to where the Maroons are, but I believe it's exceptionally difficult unless they've built a good road up there, which I don't think that they have. I don't know. It's been many years since I've been there,
We
but
can remote view it very
yeah, we
easily.
should. That
Thanks
yes,
very much.
absolutely. Thank you.